the Lincoln Tunnel, through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Now the first running back drafted in April, this is Breece Hall. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Meanwhile, Corral's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll run with Hall. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it'll be Dolphin football. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Shot, 17. Red, cycle.
Here's Tua. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Tua. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago. And another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The Jets had 2 and 2 through the first 4 weeks of the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Corral looking to throw. He finds Wilson, and he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 29-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. Down to about the 22 here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Phillips, the former 1st-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards, and that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. Zerline's kick is up and through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls, because these are the... He's got a man, complete! And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. 46 yards. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Clock running here, under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. From the 24, Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Okay,
so
right?
From inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Ready.
Now a give to Mostert running right. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Set, ready.
3-0 after one on EA Sports.
Down.
2nd and 8. On play action, here's Tua. He's got a man, it's his fullback. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right?
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Zerline connects on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Got it.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this one is incomplete.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
Here we go, second.
Looking to pass. Tua. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. The former third overall pick, Quentin Williams, there to bring him down. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Tua sets up to pass it. And going deep for Hill. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Corral. Open man, that's Renfro. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big pickup of 38.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hall again on 2nd down. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
Zerline good with a PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
52 blaster. On the ball.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop it. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you, because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
Here's Berrios. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
Yeah, we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, Corral. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. So 2 touchdowns for him on the ground in his first half, and that one a thing of beauty.
And just like his last touchdown run, we saw him be patient. How about his vision where he's able to identify where the opening was? And then how about the escort right down the field all the way to the end zone from his blockers?
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He's at the 40. Past the 20. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Miami.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. From the gun, Corral. Throw right side, Wilson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The first down throw here for Corral. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Throwing again on 2nd down. Corral. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. He has a man. It's complete to Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So good work there to get points just before the half as they add on to their lead.
As trite as it sounds, every little bit helps. That's exactly what they're going for. Anytime you get a chance to put points on the board, you take it.
And they didn't leave the other side with much time at all on the clock. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
On the double.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and a loose football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Ready, break.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Tua. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Two things you can do in that situation. Run and punt the football or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Miami. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Corral with it, first down here. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 80 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that 2nd level and 3rd, and that's what they were able to exploit.
No wasted time from Channing Tindall on that play. He got back there in a hurry and met him to stop him for a loss. On 2nd and 15 now. Corral. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Watch out for Hill on the return. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Hall. And some room to maneuver. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall, 35 yards. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. That run going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs, just a little crease, and off he goes.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
To his throw here, taken in by Gesicki. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Tua finding Gesicki there for a Dolphin first.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in the short of...
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played,
All coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On 2nd and 9, Tua. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And he goes out right around the 39. Short completion, just 4 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Set, ready. You, yellow.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua. They're going deep for Hill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jackrabbit Jenkins. And the Jets are going to get it back here just past the 35. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And taken down just shy of the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Corral. And that will be incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because They're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 2nd and 10, Tua. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Yellow, go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
And here comes Berrios. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 121 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He completes it to Wilson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing here, Corral. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll give to Hall. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. 3rd down, Corral. Open man here is Conklin. Knocks over another, and he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Hall. he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives. So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say? Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again. And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything. On third and long, it's Tagovailoa. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rookie Jermaine Johnson going all the way from last chance U to now dropping NFL quarterbacks. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here. Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Hall again on second down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there? I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them. But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game. And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish. So for the Jets, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Miami, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.